Can you hear me?
Madam Chairperson, did you call the meeting to order?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So the meeting is called to order as of 6:05 p.m. We'll go ahead and start with the invocation. Does anybody want to lead that?
Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of business, guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today. Amen.
Thank you. And I'm guessing we are going to bypass the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now can we get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cortez,
Presente.
Commissioner Vargas,
Present.
Vice Chair Romero. No, Romero. Chairperson Solosano,
Present.
Madam Secretary, in order to continue with the meeting, we must have 3 commissioners on camera.
So that's me, right? Hold on. I'm in the process of setting up the laptop. Give me one moment. Okay. Wow, that's bright.
Madam
Go
Secretary,
ahead.
Madam Secretary, did
Okay.
you conclude roll call?
Chairperson Solosano.
Present.
For the record, Vice Chairperson Romero is absent. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to the first item, which is the approval of the minutes for the special meeting that occurred on October 17th, I believe.
Madam Chairperson, I think you skipped the report on the posting of the agenda.
Yes, I did. The posting of the agenda, was it posted according to state law, Madam Secretary?
Yes, the agenda was posted at a state law, according to state law.
Awesome, thank you. So now we'll go ahead and go to the approval of the minutes for the special meeting that occurred on October 21st. Do I have a motion?
I, Commissioner Vargas, motion to approve the minutes of October 21st, 2020.
This is Commissioner Cortez. I second that.
Okay, now to discussion items 2 through 3, which is we'll go with number 2, Recreation and Community Services Department update. Somebody want to start that off?
Yes, I'll be providing the update. On Friday, December 10th, our department will be showing the movie, The Santa Claus. This showing will take place again Friday, December 10th at Val Gardens Veterans Park. The activities begin sharply at 5:30 and the movie will begin at dusk. Also, our department will be hosting a holiday toy distribution. This is scheduled for Friday, December 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., which will provide children under the age of 17 with an opportunity to receive a toy. Registration for this event will be required, and it's for Val Gardens residents. Registration will open on Monday, November 29th at the Community Family Service Center. The Recreation Community Services Department continues to offer the supper program Monday through Friday from 3 to 4 at Ford Park, the Neighborhood Youth Center, and Val Gardens Veterans Park. Our department has began a transition from Max Galaxy to ActiveNet is our registration software. This transition is slated to take about 2 to 3 months from start to finish. And again, we just started this on Tuesday of this week, so we're shooting for the end of January. Next, we have our sports update. Happy to inform you all that girls softball has began their league play, which started on Tuesday at Val Gardens Veterans Park. Games will be played Tuesdays and Wednesdays from November 16th through December 15th. Games will be held at 5:30 and 7:30 each week. We are also getting ready to start our T-ball season. That will begin this Saturday at Val Gardens Veterans Park. Games will be Saturdays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Those games will be played at 5:30 and 6:45 during the week, and from 9:30 to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. Our Family Service Center continues to provide utility assistance. We have currently served a total of 75 residents. Rent relief, we now have provided service to 537. And Community Family Service continues to provide weekly senior meals, monthly senior food, family food program, consumer action. Those last two on an average of 500 a month, and utility assistance so far 81 completed applications. COVID vaccination, we are currently offering or have continue to partner with Pico Care Pharmacy to offer COVID vaccination at Val Gardens Veterans Park. The Pfizer first and second and boosters are offered every Tuesday from 12 to 2:30. The Moderna booster is offered Thursdays from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. And the pediatric vaccine is offered every Wednesday from 2 to 4 p.m. And also all adults 18 and older are now eligible to receive the booster vaccine 2 months after receiving a single dose of the J&J or 6 months after receiving the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. COVID testing is also offered at Val Gardens Veterans Park. That's Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Senior Center reopening is scheduled for Monday, November 29th, with the week dedicated to celebrating that we will be all back together again. Seniors 55 and over are encouraged to attend senior center programming beginning on November 29th with the booster vaccine from 10 to 2, movie matinee from 12 to 2 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, December 1st, Loteria from 12 to 2, Thursday, December 2nd, birthday celebration, and Friday, December 3rd, the volunteer meeting from 11 to 12. Yes.
For the record, Vice Chairperson, join in.
Yes, here. Sorry about that. I'm just having some technical difficulties.
So continuing with our department update, self-defense class started on Saturday, November 13th. Our department will be having the second one on Saturday, December 11th. And that's for anyone ages 13 and older. This session takes place again on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. And lastly, our recreation classes have resumed, and we're currently taking registration for dance team, fusion dance, and I Can Dance, and folklorico. Registration is available either at our department offices or online at Bell Gardens website. This concludes our department update.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments for the department update?
I have a quick one. I was wondering about the one of the COVID vaccines times for the 12-year-old and above. The times are scheduled as 12:30 to 2. And I remember talking to, I forget her name at the community family center, that you guys are working on trying to extend those hours because that's school operating hours. So it's really hard to get the students that are, especially the middle school students, to be there from 12:30 to 2 p.m. when they're in session. They can't just leave and come back. So I was thinking, because my daughter needs her vaccine, so I was thinking of going during Christmas break, during Thanksgiving break, and I wanted to find out if it's going to be open during that week for a lot of the community residents who have the availability to go during that 12 to 2:30 window. But is it, when they do their follow-up, is it going to have to be from that 12:30 to 2:30 window? So I was trying to see what are the resources that we can do to help the community who needs the 12 years and older vaccine available for their children.
Thank you. That's a great question.
Commissioner Vargas, we are working to extend the hours from 12:30 to 4:30. So that should resolve it. But yes, definitely on Monday, we will be, I'm sorry, Tuesday of next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be offering vaccines. So children 12 and over can obtain the Pfizer on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, the pediatric one will be administered. And then the follow-up when you get to 3 weeks, we are working with the pharmacy to extend their hours. Initially, we didn't have a whole lot of children, and so they shortened their hours, but we're working on extending those hours. And so I don't think you'll have a problem, but we do recognize, and we did receive a lot of calls asking if next week we were going to be open for vaccines, and we did confirm that on Tuesday and Wednesday, we will be offering vaccines as well as testing Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah, and as a parent with 3 children, I figured that's the time I can make it, but I'm more concerned with the follow-up of the 3 weeks. Is it going to be able to work? But thank you so much for going ahead and making sure that those resources are available for all of our residents.
Yeah, and just in addition to last Saturday was a very busy day for our department. We did also administer vaccines on Saturday. So there'll be a follow-up on 3 weeks from last Saturday for the children who received both the Pfizer 12 and over and the Pfizer pediatric in 3 weeks on a Saturday. So we're trying to do everything we can to be as accommodating to families, whether it's during the week or on weekends, because we do know a lot of people are working and it's very hard to get your children to get them vaccinated. So yes.
That's all. Thank you.
I have a question. I know that we had 5 different events going on. I was just wondering if we had, I guess, a follow-up on those events. Like, how were they? Did we have a good turnout at each event? Only because there were so many events, so I want to make sure that they were being, I guess, utilized, or that it was a good idea to have them all on the same day.
I'll go ahead and take it. We didn't initially plan all of those to be on the same day. But what occurred is we started off with the fishing derby. We had originally scheduled the fishing derby for November 5th. Unfortunately, the Fish and Game people could not assist us on the 5th, and the earliest they could help us out was the 12th. And so we needed the fish. So we had to settle for the 12th. There was a health clinic that was at Bell Gardens Veterans Park for children. That was being co-sponsored with us through the Mexican American Opportunity Foundation. So that was already in the book, as well as the self-defense classes, which we really didn't think would be a conflict if it was just those 2 events. So we thought we may have some adults participating in self-defense or some older children, and the families can, which was only 1 hour. The other event was a 5-hour event. So we didn't think that there was going to be too much conflict there. We then went to the groundbreaking of the new aquatic center, which was scheduled actually the month prior, because the month prior it poured on that day. And so when we opted to move it to 30 days later, we picked the hottest day of the year. So our timing as far as weather was not the best, but we wanted to make sure that we held the event prior to Thanksgiving. We don't want to hold up the project by not having a groundbreaking to memorialize the fact that we are moving forward, and we were excited to show the plans to the community. I think they had a great time seeing that there has been tremendous progress that has been made in the swimming pool, and it's just not pictures that people can look at. There's actually physical drawings and plans and specs. So we, again, first day was a rain day. We then picked the hottest day. And then again, the golf event was something that the county gave us that date because of our partnership with LA 84. So there were some things in our control and some things out of our control, but normally we don't try to split ourselves up. It was a long day for all staff. Majority of the staff were at all of the event. It was kind of an all hands on deck day. And so I do appreciate all the efforts that our staff put out that day. And we did get a fair amount of attendance at all of our events, despite the heat. And so it just kind of worked. Everybody just took their time and rolled with the punches, but it had to do with a lot of scheduling things that just ended up happening as a result of other people. So we survived.
Awesome, thank you. And I think that's all I have for the department update. I'll save the rest for, actually, no, I have one more. I'm not sure if I heard or not. Were we going to be doing a turkey distribution this year to families?
This year we have partnered with Assembly Member Cristina Garcia. There is an event this Saturday for residents and her district area. It's at Ford Park. It starts at 10 o'clock and it goes until 2 p.m. And there is a food and turkey distribution, a limited supply, first come, first serve. And some of them, there's pre-registration that has already taken place. So there is a rather large scale event that will take place on this Saturday at Ford Park from 10 to 2.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're not having any other turkey distribution. Like I mentioned, we've reached out to participants and their families, the seniors, and we've had a smaller scale distribution. So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be doing that this year, and we were just doing the big food distribution.
Mhm.
Okay. That's it for me. If nobody else has anything they'd like to add, I would like to move on to the next. I guess you kind of already spoke about the transition from Max Galaxy to ActiveNet, but did you want to add more or?
And at this time, the only update is that the reason for the change is that Microsoft is no longer supporting Silverlight. So therefore, we needed to find another registration software to assist us in providing that service to the residents of this community. So again, it's typically a 3-month process, and we're gonna do all that we possibly can to get it done, hopefully in a 2-month span.
Wonderful. Thank you, Armando. So we'll go ahead and go to public comments on non-agenda items. Were there any comments, Madam Secretary?
Not at this moment.
Thank you. And now staff comments. I know we already went through the upcoming events. Did you want to reiterate that, or can we bypass that and go straight to commissioner comments?
We have,
Yeah, those are just on as a list for
Okay.
reference point, but we don't have to go through that again.
and I just like to remind the commissioners that the RCY Commission reorganization is scheduled for next meeting, which is Thursday, December 16th.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, so now to commissioner comments. Does anybody want to go first or?
I just wanted to, just a quick clarification for the food distribution holiday, Saturday, December 11th. Is that, and for the holiday toy distribution, are both of those events just for Bell Garden residents, or is it open to the public?
So the food distribution that will take place on Saturday, December 11th, we're prohibited from limiting it to Bell Gardens residents.
Okay.
Though it will be at Ford Park. We do have food for well over 1,500. We're only advertising it here in Bell Gardens. And so I think it's pretty safe to say a majority of them will be Bell Gardens residents, because we're not going as a regional distribution. It'll be for Bell Gardens, and there will not be any pre-registration for that food distribution. It's a first come, first serve. So that will take place again at Ford Park. And if any of you are interested in volunteering on that day, we gladly accept any assistance on that day. It will be an all hands on deck, because we want to make sure that the public is served. And then the toy distribution is limited to Bell Gardens children. So that registration will be taking place at the Community Family Service Center. And again, it's at Suva Intermediate parking lot, which is right next door to us. Last year, we conducted this event all in one, which was at the casino. So there was a drive-through event, there was toys, there was food, and then everybody left. Unfortunately, we didn't have the ability to conduct the event there again. So what we had to do was split it up. So therefore, we're doing the food on one day, one following Saturday, we'll do toys. But again, no registration is required for food. But toys we are, because we're trying to manage toys that relate to the children that are going to be attending. So,
No, thank you so much. Thank you for clarifying.
yeah.
Hi, this is Commissioner Cortez. I had a comment and a suggestion. I went to the Pride event that happened recently. I just want to say it was great. And I really appreciate the intentional space that's created. It was small, but it doesn't matter. Like it was very intentional to support queer and non-binary folks, and specifically highlighting youth, which I thought was really important to highlight queer youth or non-binary youth. And so moving forward, just wanted to support that. It was great and hope it happens again. Annually would be dope. So just want to share that part. And then another comment that I thought of when y'all mentioned the movie night. And I was wondering how movies are selected, but also in that considering, I know we have a little ways away from opening the water project to have, I just want to reiterate, like this water project that's happening at Fort Park is huge. It's a regional asset. Like it's not just like Bell Gardens is hosting it, but it has huge regional implications for how we conserve water. So I don't know what, whenever that's done, like the launch or things like that, and even thinking of the water components for the water park that we just put in, looking at maybe hosting a movie screening that talks about conservation of water or how we actively steal water from other places, how LADWP and all of these water sources are stealing water or depleting water from other areas and from Indigenous folks in particular, but that we can do our part, and we are doing our part by having projects like these. And I think that will create community investment. So I wanted to just propose that as a consideration. And if folks are interested, I'm happy to connect y'all. I know of a couple of documentaries, a couple of folks who may be willing to come down and even have a panel and speak a little bit on it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Commissioner Cortez, I think that's an excellent idea. In other lifetimes, I have, if there's PSAs or 5-minute, 10-minute documentaries that can pre the movie, you know, that's something, if you can put those references or resources in our hands, I definitely think that we could show those as an intro to the movie. And it's a little easier to do because it gets darker earlier. So it's not like we would have a problem with that. So if you can just pass those resources towards us, we would be happy to share those as a PSA in reference to that. But definitely, and I think your suggestion might be better used when we celebrate Earth Day. There is Earth Day component, and then we can incorporate an educational component and definitely incorporate water. We are all very excited and hopeful that this cistern project finishes quickly, more quickly, because there's been quite a bit of an impact to our community and and delay in being able to use the facilities. So definitely, if there's those resources, be happy to take them on and pass them on to staff to incorporate into programming. Sure.
So, Ozzy, did you want to say anything?
I just wanted to say that Commissioner Cortez, that was a great idea, and I think it's a wonderful idea. And if you need collaboration, or again, if the staff need resources, please feel free to reach out to me. I also have a lot of connections with Indigenous folks, extended family. So great idea. And that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so now I would like to go. I'm going to comment on Commissioner Cortez's suggestion because I loved it. So I'm going to wait and leave that for last. But I wanted to comment on the Halloween and the Dia de los Muertos event. I went to both, and I can say that I was so excited to see everybody out and enjoying their time and having fun. The Halloween carnival I loved. I was so amazed at how many people showed up. I don't know if anybody else attended, but it was amazing. The turnout was far more than we've had at any other Halloween for the past 7 years. And I was happy to see that it was a little different than prior years. I like that we had multiple photo stations where families could take pictures. And I really enjoyed it. So I was happy to see it. And we were one of, I want to say, I believe I mentioned this to you, Roseanne. We were, I think, one of the only cities that did the event on the actual Halloween day. So I think that also made for a nice little surprise. And I'm sure many of you noticed that there were hardly any trick-or-treaters walking the streets. So I want to say that they were all out at our event. So that was amazing and great. And I really loved it. The Dia de los Muertos event was great as well. There was a lady who was walking around who just looked phenomenal. Whoever hired her or found her, applause to you, because she was amazing. She stayed in character the whole night, and it was cold. So it was a great event. I was a little confused as to maybe the dates, or maybe in the future suggesting we either combine them, like, or I know in the past we've done it at Ford Park. So we gave opportunity for the individuals who lived near Ford Park to go to that park and enjoy that event. I just, in my opinion, I felt like it, I just think that maybe structuring it a little bit different, or maybe not on a Monday night, because I know everybody's tired from the day prior, could have benefited a little bit more. But all in all, the events were great, amazing. I was happy to be there and happy to help in any way that I could. As for Commissioner Cortez's suggestion regarding the Ford Park project that's going on, I think it was amazing and a great suggestion. And I think, or I know that suggestions like those, and the suggestion that you actually made the last time around, where you asked that we be involved more in that project, or involved in the project with the golf course, and using the money that we're applying for to recreate that project or recreate that golf course, or what our vision is for that. I think those are the things that I expected to come into this commission doing. You know, I think all of us have so much to offer and to give due to our experience, our knowledge, our education, our background, what we've been through. And I think that we can be accomplishing so much more during these meetings if we were to be able to bring that into consideration. And I think I'm just a little confused, and maybe Armando or Roseanne can clarify, but what is our role as a commissioner? I was told one thing at the beginning of this process, what my role was, but I think I'm a little confused. And I think that's because, not that I feel like we're not accomplishing anything, because just being here and our presence and being able to spread the word on the events is an accomplishment. But I also believe and know that we can be doing so much more with our talents. And again, I'm just confused as to maybe what our actual role is in this commission. And I'm hoping that maybe one of you can clarify, if not today, maybe separately off camera. But yeah, I think that we can be doing so much more. I found that about 7 to 8 of our meetings were almost identical to the Education Commission meeting, where it was nothing but department updates. And again, those are amazing, and I'm not knocking those at all, because we need them. And I think us knowing about them and being able to spread the word via social media or via our neighbors and relatives is a great thing. But I just know that my understanding of what this commission is supposed to do is not aligning with what's really going on. And I think I just need more clarification. I don't know how everybody else feels, and I'm probably just speaking for myself, and that's fine. But if I'm confused regarding my role and what my role plays in this commission and how we can, you know, accomplish things for our recreation department and our youth and our seniors and be able to create that culture and keep that culture alive, I think it's valid. So I'm not sure if anybody is able to respond to me now or if I should wait for a separate email. But yeah, those are my comments. And I just hope that, you know, come December 16th, when we reorganize the commission, we can really have a productive sit-down commission meeting next year and really go through our policies, our you know, projects that are coming up and really be involved. You know, I think that Ford Park project is a perfect example. You know, the field I'm sure is going to have to get redone. So I'm assuming that whatever company is working on that field is going to work on improving is going to work on reestablishing that field maintenance. So, you know, let's look into it. You know, our fences are kind of falling apart and we have to repaint every, you know, so often. Why not see if they're able to throw in new fences into that contract? I'm sure that's something that we can talk about, negotiate, write letters about, do what we need to do. So again, that's just my 2 cents, or 5 probably, but I think that we can be doing a whole lot more. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So if nobody else has any more comments or questions, then we can go ahead and continue.
If I can just
Oh,
give some feedback in reference to the function of the commission. So the commission is an advisory board appointed as appointees of the council. So you act as a liaison to your council person that assigned or asked you to serve. The commission can drive the agenda. So as chair or as vice chair, you can have anything you would like to see on the agenda. If there's a report that you would like to be issued, if there's information that you would like to receive, if there's a report on, say, the cistern project, just as Commissioner Cortez mentioned, to get some information, we gladly support and provide you with an update on what that project is. For example, yes, the fields and everything else is going to be returned back. So we can give you an update on whatever project. So as the chair, you have the ability to drive the agenda, to create the agenda, and to get information, reports. You can hold, you can ask for a lot of information so that you can be more informed. So what we're trying to do is provide you with information on some of our events, some of our activities, so that you're aware of what department actions have taken place over the month. But if we're not provided with what you'd like to see as far as the report, or what you'd like to see as far as an agenda, or what your priorities are of the commission, or where you'd like to be involved in, we're kind of at the mercy of the commission. So what we're trying to do is just provide you information on what is being requested. So as the chair or as the vice chair, and going forward, any of the commissioners, Commissioner Cortez can say to you, I'd like to get some information on the cistern project. I'd like to find out how the commission can get involved, where we can advocate, how we can create education programs, where we can get involved. I've got X resources that I can present. I can, that's definitely doable. So again, as the commission, you can give advice like you just did on some of the PSAs for before a movie. We can do that. But again, the commission drives the agenda. So if we receive information and you have inquiries as to what information you would like to receive, how you would like to participate, any community events, those type of things, you can participate, you can ask for those reports. And we would be glad to, to provide you that information and encourage your participation in any of those activities. The council is who sets policy, and we fall in line with the council's direction as far as policy. The commission can make suggestions to their council member to introduce a new program, to encourage participation. Your evaluation of the Dia de los Muertos was taken into consideration. We made note of that. Staff did conduct 2 evaluation meetings the following week of both the Halloween and the Dia de los Muertos. And it was very difficult to have 2 large back-to-back events. We also agree with you that having an event on a Monday night is a challenge. And so we talked about separating the 2 events to give people ample time to, maybe that Friday would be Dia de los Muertos, but we wanted to stay with tradition and have the events on Halloween. And I appreciate the fact that you noticed that us conducting the Halloween program on Halloween meant that we were also coming in and working on a day that we would normally be home. And I think a lot of other recreation departments took the easy route and had their program on a Friday or even on a Saturday or the week before, so that they too can partake. So staff does make quite a bit of sacrifices when they're out there on October 31st. And fortunately, we had some of our staff who were able to bring their children in and have their families participate. And so for that, it's I really appreciate the comments, and I think that they were well taken. And we have noted that, but it was a challenge hosting 2 events back to back. Staff was really tired on Monday night and the rest of the week. So I really appreciate the comments that you made. I will pass those comments on to staff because I think it's valuable for them to also hear. They're not all here listening to the positive comments that we're receiving from the commission. So I'll make sure that they hear about that they receive some positive. But again, we are here to work with the commission. So if there's anything that you would like to get involved in, please drive the agenda. Tell us what you want to hear about. Tell us what you want to get involved in, and we'll be happy to include you into that process.
Thank you. And, I don't think it's more of I need to hear that I'm right or that what I said was going to be, passed along to the staff. I appreciate that. And, I understand the sacrifice that all of our staff makes at Recreation Department in the city, in general. I just know that we can do a lot more. And I think a little bit of assistance or direction from staff would be appreciated. Not mainly on what we should be putting on the agenda, but I'm like, I think I already said everything I needed to say. So, but again, no, thank you. And I don't say these things because I want you to say that I'm right or anything of that sort. I just wanted to get it across, and I want to make sure that the rest of the commission is aware of what I know our potential would be for this commission. And that's it for me.
Commissioner or Vice Chair Romero, you had your hand up earlier. Did you want to share something?
No, I think Roseanne covered the points that I wanted to get across. So yeah, thank you for that.
This is Commissioner Cortez. Sorry about that. I just want to say I appreciate that, Chair Solorzano, and I'm gonna process what you said, because I take that very strongly. And I was like, yeah, I could step up, but in what way do I want to step up? And I need to process that for myself. So I appreciate that comment. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Of course, yeah. And I mean, I'm not saying that we all need to go head forth and do everything in the world to make changes, but I just think that these meetings could be more productive. And that's it. So if there's no other comments, I would like to adjourn this meeting as of 6:50 p.m. Thank you, Armando. Thank you, Roseanne. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.